Alex Rogan.
Who are you?
Centauri's the name. I invented Starfighter, which is why I'm here.
It is?
It is. We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance. Step into my office.
How's it going out there, everyone? This is W.F.S, your doctor here today. And today we're going to talk about The Last Starfighter. It is absolutely one of my favorite science fiction films from the 1980s. Released in 1984, in July to be more specific, of 1984, the film had a budget of $15 million and domestically grossed $27 million. The reason for the video today is to talk about the future of The Last Starfighter. For years we've heard and talked about the possibility that there may be a Last Starfighter sequel. And lo and behold, news has broke that we are getting a Last Starfighter sequel.
How long must we endure this fool?
Now, I talked about this in a previous video, a while back actually, talking about the idea of a Last Starfighter sequel. And I really thought it would be a brilliant idea. And if you'd be patient with me, I think I'm going to make my point as to why a Last Starfighter sequel would be great, but unfortunately, what we're getting is far from it. This movie was a lot of fun for me, and I just think that a sequel would be fantastic. What caused them to put the frontier up? What was so bad about what was behind it that they needed to block it out? What would this world be like? What would this universe be like with Alec Rogan trying to rebuild the Legion? A human who's only had very little contact with these races is suddenly being asked to rebuild an entire Legion that's probably been around for hundreds of years. The aliens that we could encounter, the worlds that we could watch being built. This universe, this story has such incredible opportunities here, but unfortunately, we are not getting a movie. We're not getting a TV show.
You're walking away from history? History? Did Chris Columbus say he wanted to stay home? No. What if the Wright brothers thought that only birds should fly? And did Galoka think the Ulus were too ugly to save?
Who's Galoka?
Never mind.
Universal Studios is walking away from history, my friends. They are. The idea of not putting this idea of theirs into a film or a television series is absolutely amazing to me. It blows my mind when you consider the fact that Starfleet Academy is a train wreck, Star Wars is bleeding fans, and Doctor Who is just a corpse. The sci-fi world is screaming for fresh blood, new material, something that can bring fans over to it. And this has the potential to do it, but unfortunately, that is not what we're getting. According to CBR, 41 years later, this sci-fi cult classic is returning with a brand new sequel story. But wait, you're gonna love this. The Last Starfighter continues as a new comic book series.
Oh, come on!
It was announced in September of 2025 that the independent comic book publisher Mad Cave Studios will join forces with Jonathan Butel, the original screenwriter for The Last Starfighter, and they will continue the franchise with a direct continuation in a new comic book series due for release in 2026. Bethel leads the project alongside Paul Davison, the founder of the 27th Hour and the former head of the IDW Entertainment and a self-described fan of The Last Starfighter who is excited to take on this unimaginable opportunity to revive a childhood obsession of his. Additionally, members of the creative team include writers such as Derek A. Hughes and Benjamin Rahab. Now, my friends, this is all well and good, and they're going to promote here, or they're going to tell us here about their credits, like Sci-Fi's Warehouse 13, the CW's Flash, and the Grant Gustafson, and NBC's reboot of The Quantum Leap. However, these may be great things, these may be great credentials and great opportunities that they've had, but we're talking about television shows here. Television shows that people could watch, right? And it's the word television show. The reason this is such a bad idea is because of people like Nerdrotic, who claim that the comic book industry is a dying breed. Now, I've been to comic book stores and I don't see the comics flying off the shelves like they used to. And I've been hearing from other people out there and on the internet and on YouTube that comic books are dying. So the question that I have is this a good idea to put The Last Starfighter onto a comic if the industry is dying? It is my honest opinion that The Last Starfighter deserves more to be put on a comic book. It does need a TV series or a movie to continue the stories of The Last Starfighter. This is not the way to go with this, and I think we are doing serious harm by not continuing it the way that it should be, on the silver screen. Jonathan, I know you've been trying for years to get this thing moving, continue the story of Alec Rogan and his adventures in space. But the question that I have is this the right direction? I don't think it is. I really don't. And if there are any comic book fans out there, I would love to hear your opinions on this. Well, hell, I'd love to hear anyone's opinion on this video. Comic books supposedly are dying, and if any of you out there are aficionados of comic books, I want to hear from you. I want to know, do you think the comic book industry is dying? And do you think Starfighter deserves a film or television series? Or is it best served by going to comic? So please, drop those comments below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.